I think someone's watching. I have heard that it's normal to feel like you are being watched after you commit a murder. Maybe it's guilt. Maybe it's paranoia. Just in case it's intuition. I walk over to the windows quickly. I look around the backyard. I see nothing except night punctuated by a few Christmas lights strung around a privacy fence. Lucky we are on the second floor. I can still hear the muffled noise of the crowd downstairs. Ella, our department chair, and her husband Richard always throw the faculty holiday party. Non-tenured faculty are rarely invited and certainly not adjuncted. I have been a tenured faculty member for 6 years and have been here for six holiday parties. I am familiar enough with the house to pull this off. I take out my phone and check the time. When did I come upstairs? Was it 5 minutes ago? 10? I'm watching the street beyond the privacy fence when I see a flash of headlights in the neighbor's driveway. My phone. How could I be so stupid? Here I am standing in the dark room at night in front of a window and I have the light on my phone screen broadcasting my presence to anyone who happens to look up. I turn the phone off and shove it in my pocket. My eyes dart around the room. Thoughts are coming so fast through my mind that they overlap. How much time do I have before someone comes looking for me? How much time before someone comes looking for Henry? What did I touch? What about hair? DNA? A skin cell? What about Henry? Does anyone know where he went? How long before they notice he's missing? I reached down and pulled the plastic bag from Henry's head. I wish I hadn't had to do it, but he was putting me in a truly impossible situation. It's not as if I planned this. I certainly didn't bring a gun or a knife. I never want to hurt anyone, never been in fight even. I stare at him hard in the dark. I reach down and feel of a pulse in his neck. His eyes are open. I know he's dead, but I must make certain. I hold my palms in front of his face. I feel no bruise, so he's dead. I'm so relieved that it's over. I take another look around to take stock of my resources. I am in Richard and Ella's upstairs guest suite. The main room has a bed and two end tables, again in the far wall, and a television again in the opposite wall close to the television. Ella has set up a small living room space with an easy chair, a sofa, and coffee table. The television is nestled in the center of a large entertainment center with a bookcase on either side. Henry refused to listen. When he turned his back on me, I grabbed the biggest, heaviest book on the shelf and hit him hard in the back of the head with the top corner of the book. I look for the book. I find it on the floor and inspect it carefully for damage, for blood. I see nothing and replay the book in its space on the shelf. The book is not the murder weapon. Henry is old, nearly 80, I think. Anyway, the blow with the book just knocked him to his knee. I will never forget the look on his face, how stunned he was. He stood in the dark room and told me he was going to destroy my whole life and really thought that he would walk out of there. The nerve of some people. After Henry fell, I noticed him reaching for his pocket, probably for his phone, to make a feeble attempt at dialing 911. I had to think fast then and I did. I looked into the small bathroom next to the gas suit and immediately noted the small empty trash can next to the sink. It had been lined with a white plastic shopping bag exactly the right size to fit over a human head. I managed to get the bag over Henry's head and pulled it tight around his throat. I was behind his chin. He struggled, but I held on as if to a horse that was in a full gallop. I don't know how long it looked. I have never strangled or smothered anyone before, but it's done. I looked at the white shopping bag in my hand. Should I put it back in the trash can? No, certainly not. It's covered with my fingerprints. Possibly an outline of Henry's face, his saliva. The police labs can test for all that. I crumpled the bag up and shoved it into my pocket. I look around the room. Other than Henry's body, there is no sign that I have been here. I cross the room to the door and peek out into the hall. I hear Ella downstairs telling a funny story about her and Richard's trip to Bombay last year. No one is upstairs. No one is in the hall. I turn and take one last look around the room. To my surprise, I don't see Henry. For a second, I am alarmed. Upon searching the room, I realize that he has fallen in such a way that his body is not easily visible in the dark. His torso is partially behind the sofa. His legs are just under the coffee table. I smile. I walk down the hall toward the stair. He could literally lay there for hours before he's discovered. What a break, considering I didn't even plan for this. I make my way downstairs and into the kitchen to pour myself a glass of wine. I take a couple of sips and wait for everyone to start laughing at Ella's story before I slip into the crowd and begin laughing myself, as if I had been standing there listening the whole time. I move over the piano where Landon is sitting on the bench. He looks at me and smiles. Hello, lovely Lydia. He slurs as he tries to look deeply into my eyes. It's hard for me not to laugh at him, but tonight I need him. The gin and tonics, along with the wine he has been nursing tonight, have gone to his head. I can use him at least for a while. He's the department expert on the romantics. Byron, Keats, and Shelley. Since his divorce was finalized a few months ago, he has been flirting with me. Tonight, I will flirt back. Perhaps I will even go home with him. Maybe I will act drunker than I am so that someone offers to drive me home. Would that be a red flag? I don't know. I just know I must make sure that many people see me and remember me here in the living room, in the kitchen, or on the patio, anywhere except the upstairs suite. After the crowd began to break up, London and I move over to one of the leather sofas. He goes to the kitchen to refill my wine glass before coming back to tell me about the writers' conference he attended last summer. Such a bore. I think again of Henry lying dead in the floor upstairs. I study the crowd. No one seems to have noticed he's missing yet. Henry wasn't a bad fellow, but he didn't like me at all. It all started last year when some one of the female students reported to me that they had been uncomfortable in Henry's presence, that he would something touch them on the shoulder, make comments about their clothes or body that they felt were inappropriate. They also said that he often asked female students to read sexually explicit text in the class, while male students were never asked to do so. I reported the issue to Ella. She brought Henry to her office, notified him of the complaint and asked him to retire. Henry refused. She then opened a formal investigation into the matter. The university had hearing about the issue with the students if they found that Henry had done anything inappropriate. Henry stood to lose his pension. As far as I was concerned, it was his own damn fault. Ella gave him a chance to make a clean and safe exit. He refused. It really wasn't any of my business. I was just the one the students felt safe enough to take with. Then, a week ago, things went off the rails. Henry had known for months that I was the one who reported the students' stories to Ella, and he had been busy. He had spent weeks pouring through my researches until he found what he was looking for. He notified me that he had proved that I had plagiarized most of my PhD thesis on the Shakespeare's absurdity. I denied it, of course. The problem was that I had plagiarized it. I had copied it almost word for word from a Soviet-era Russian academy. I had found the work in an old Russian language literature book that I found at an estate sale. The book was out of print. The Academy has been forgotten. How Henry figured it out, I will never know. Henry showed up in my office last week and told me that he would take the evidence of my plagiarism to Ella, to the dean of the department, to the president of the university, if I didn't fix the situation with the students. He wanted me to tell everyone, the university, the Ella, other faculty members, that the girl told me they were lying just to get back at him for a couple of bad grades. I tried arguing with him. He would not stop the investigation. I told him he had nothing to gain by treating me. He wouldn't listen. As far as he was concerned, I had caused his problems and it was my job to fix them, or would cause problem for me. Earlier today, in the faculty lounge, I told him that I had a solution and that I would take with him Ella and Richard House during the party. I was lying. I had no solution except to take Henry out of reporting me. I don't know what I thought I would be. I vaguely believed that I could counter his threat with an offer of money, or maybe even convince him that I could destroy him even further. Tonight, I had become aware of Henry watching me as I left the party to make my way upstairs. He obviously thought this was his opportunity to take with me alone. Once we were alone in the upstairs bedroom, I realized how old he was, how shrunken he was, how weak and vulnerable he was. I snapped out of my thoughts as Natalie makes her way over to take London, and she's with me, any boyfriends, and they are thinking about a train trip they are thinking about taking next summer. Natalie says she loved the idea of a train trip, but she's heard the reality of modern trains are more discount motel than Orient Express. I make small talk, I drink wine, I scan the room. Everyone is fine, everyone is having a great time. The hall clocks chime 10 o'clock. Then we heard a scream. Ella and Richard rush upstairs. London gets up and goes to the landing looking up toward the second floor. Everyone else, myself included, stay where they are. I look around the room. I must act like everyone else. I must look like everyone else. Elsa rushed downstairs, her and his own haircut just over her heart. As if she has just had a scare, she collapsed in a wing-back chair. Her eyes are glossy with tears when she tells everyone that Henry seems to be dead in the floor upstairs. Some of the women put their hands over their mouths. They look surprised. Others vocalized alarm. I do the same. I get up and go to the kitchen and get more wine. London, follow me. He's concerned. How considerate of him. I must really put on a show now. I make my hand shake slightly as I lift the wine glass to my mouth. I look at him and notice that he looks pale. His eyes are glazed. The next thing I am aware of is siren. Of course, there's an ambulance on the way. Probably police too. Richard comes down and stands on the edge of the stairs. He holds up his hands, his palms toward us, hold up invisible wall. The police, he says, have informed him that none of us are to leave until they can take to all of us. For the first time, I begin to feel sick. The police, my God, what they can just look at me and tell. I catch a glimpse of myself in hall mirror as they make me back to the living room. I have expected to see the word murder written across my forehead, but it's just me starting back from the mirror. I practice a few faint facial expressions. Surprise first, then sadness, then horror. I feel like someone's watching. I look up to see London studying me. He looks a bit confused. No matter, I will take him home with me tonight. We will drink more wine and take until the early morning hours about what a crazy party with Henry dead upstairs. When he's good and drunk, we will go to bed. In the morning, everything will be finished. I walk to London and put my hands in his eyes, soften. We entered the living room, just time to see a police officer making his way up the stairs. I look around. I'm one of many here. I look just as shocked as they do. I whisper to London, I'm so glad you are here. He puts his arms around it, pulls me a bit closer. I take another drink of wine. I blend in. No one is watching. Thanks for listening. If you need an extra crime stories, please like, share and subscribe my channel.